What's up, everybody? Got a special guest on tonight, as you can see. And we have a topic that, I think many people are kind of, what I've heard, a little sick about hearing about. But my buddy and I, we got some different opinions on it and let him introduce himself. This is a friend of mine for about two, maybe 3 years now. So go ahead, brother.
All right, so my name is Slime W. Savage, and I'm here to wrap it up on Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Now, as y'all know,
Yeah,
y'all know this shit was rigged. It had to be. The gloves,
we came to
when
that.
he was biting that glove, he was holding back. And y'all know what time it is when Jake Paul and Mike Tyson step in the ring. If it was not like a scripted fight, it would have been over for Jake. What you think, Tragic?
See, I think it could have gone both ways. Now I know it was rigged 100%. I knew that before I even bought Netflix to go back into it. I knew it was rigged. In the back of my head, part of me was hoping that it wasn't rigged. I'll be honest. Part of me was hoping that okay, maybe this is real. Maybe it's not rigged. But the biting of the glove, Tyson used to be known for that from back in the day. So people write that off as a habit. Now there was I don't know if you noticed, but like the first round, Tyson kind of went off on Jake a little bit, and then they locked arms together.
And then
And
they whispered in
Tyson,
each other's ear.
yes, they whispered in each other's ear. Now, something about that it makes me feel like that was the tell right there. That
I
was
feel
one
like
of
he
the
offered
tells,
them
one of the
another
many
five
tells.
mil. Offered them
I
another
don't know.
5 mil.
I don't know if it was a money offer. Listen, I think they both got paid 20 million just for the fight alone from Netflix. On top of
And the
that, they
loser
had
gets
that.
40 mil. That didn't make sense to me.
I didn't see that part. I did. They have the rules written down, and anyone that actually reads the rules can kind of tell that the fight was meant to be rigged. But the thing is, it was a lose lose for Jake Paul. If Jake Paul would have knocked out Mike Tyson in that fight, he would have looked like the biggest POS in the world.
And
Now,
I agree because, like I said, it was lose lose for Jake Paul because Jake Paul, even if he would have knocked him out, he would have looked bad as a bad fighter for
yeah,
knocking out someone that's 60 years old. Um,
exactly.
I feel like a lot of it was staged due to his health. That's another
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
So when it came down to his health, he knew what predicament he was going to be in, so the health doesn't matter. Um, let me tell you, Mike Tyson is a legend. He knew what he was getting himself into,
legend. Yeah.
and that's just what it was. He might have
And
scripted it out for some extra cash for his family due to Don King fucking him over. That's some.
and this is something, yeah, this is something I was talking about with you last week. A lot of people don't know that the situation Mike Tyson back in the day, I think he had more one round knockouts than anyone in history. Mike Tyson was worth $300 million, bro. And the first guy that raised him, not raised him, but pretty much raised him. He took him in. His name was Cass, I think, his trainer. He was an old Italian dude, and he trained Tyson and got Tyson up there. He was worth $300 million, and then he died. Once he died, bro, Tyson just kind of went off. He went off for a while with drugs. He was like a beast in the ring, but also Don King got up his ass, and he ended up going bankrupt, and he got charged with a rape charge that was a BS charge, looking back at it. And he ended up doing 6 years in prison. And I remember Tyson said that was the happiest that he ever was in his life because that was the only 6 years where people weren't asking him for money or up his ass about,
and and I
shit.
do feel like as a boxer, it really it really hurts because when you get locked in the pen, it kind of makes you go back to reality. I mean, reality
Yeah,
as one thing. You gotta remember just because he's like known and big doesn't mean he's not human. So at the end of the day,
yeah.
a lot of people when they hear a celebrity, they thinking they living this luxury life and stuff because they got money, but all in reality they're in debt and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
It's another
yeah,
thing, you know. A lot of these celebrities, they will tell you, you don't want this lifestyle. You want to be normal.
yeah, yeah. It's a whole different perspective. But going from $300 million to completely broke, um, I felt for Tyson because then over the last like 10 years, we got to see the real Tyson with hot boxing that used to be on YouTube, with just like his interviews. And Tyson's a good. You could tell he's a good dude. He's just a laid back good dude. And I'm glad he got the 20 million off the fight. Now I hope he's not remembered by this fight. That I hope. To me, he won't be. I'm glad he got the money from it. But I think we got to the point just in this country where people are sick of stage shit just
And
because
it's all about
everything
the
seems to be
numbers.
staged.
Everything
Yeah,
is
all
about
about
the
the
numbers, and the
numbers.
analytics don't add up, because when it
Yeah.
comes down to it, y'all got to understand, we're putting our hard-earned money into this stuff. So when we bid
Yes.
and stuff like that, I do feel like Netflix should have been sued, because there's so many people that bid it. Look at Drake; he bid it like 338K. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
They had people
even that's
and
pocket change to
money.
him. But imagine if we would have done that. We would have lost everything we had just because what we didn't know that was scripted. You know, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
things you got to
And
think of. When it comes to it,
that's one of the
it
things.
comes into a lot of political stuff now. It's not the same as where you bid on a fight and the winner takes the money. It's not like that now. It's like all fiction is set up bullshit, and
Yeah.
it's scary
Yeah.
too, because like that was really something I stayed up until 1 or 2 in the morning to
Me
watch.
too. Me too. Now I got to give it to the
Not to
girls. They
mention
fought
it
their
was
asses off.
lagging. It was lagging. I couldn't
Listen,
even watch it on my
it was
TV.
lagging to the point where I couldn't watch it and I fell asleep before the fight. I watched the girls fight. The girls fight was awesome. I fell asleep before the Tyson fight because it was lagging so much. It was actually the most watched fight in boxing history. 110 million people tuned in for that fight. Out of those 110 million people, 85 million people were having problems with it lagging. Now, Netflix should have known this, and they should have had another server built. They should have been ready for this. You know what I mean? For sure, should have been ready for
And
this.
and I
So
do
take it
feel
to
like
a
it made
Florida dude.
history.
They're getting sued.
It definitely made
It
history,
did make history
because
though.
I was like, Tyson coming back after 20 years?